You know, the whole nature-nurture schism, which really this is built upon that, is a false dichotomy. It's a ruse. You know, at some point it was a clever title for a thesis or a book, but underneath that nature versus nurture is actually something a little more sinister. You know, that twining of our being never comes out with equal twins. We never really give full legitimacy to both sides of that equation. You know, and either at some point in history, nature is seen as this sort of unwieldy, primeval soup that nurture needs to tame, or at other times we see nurture as some sort of set of lifestyle choices that are, you know, arbitrary, and nature is the true self, the true thing that we can rely on to say, well, that's who I am. But you see, the minute you buy into that, the minute you buy in to that way of thinking, you've lost the argument. You've lost the argument. Nature and nurture is a thinly disguised variation on body and soul morality play. You know? One or the other always gets the upper hand, always gets to be the privileged, you know, component. And I'm not willing to go there. I don't think that dichotomy exists. And I don't think who I am is to be dissected or analyzed by the medical profession, the psychiatric profession. You know, this whole pinning of trans onto the body, it's just that, you know, it's just a privileging of markers of the body over the voicing of desire. At what point does desire become the poor stepsister to the body? At what point does my own speaking of self, my own expression of who I am, require me to point to some part of my genetic makeup, some area of my brain, and say, for legitimacy? I don't want to go down that road. I think it's a dangerous road. I think the minute we accept the nature-nurture dichotomy, we've lost the argument. The minute we start pinning trans and the legitimacy of it onto studies of the brain and hormone washes and fetuses, we've lost the argument. We've lost the battle. It's a slippery slope. The minute you create diseases, you'll create cures. Cures that will be imposed before you get to choose. Imposed by your parents, imposed by the medical profession. Your desire to do one or the other thing with your life will now have to go through the medical profession. They'll look at the x-rays and see whether or not your desire to be a certain way in this world is legitimate or merely a lifestyle, a choice. God forbid we choose this, right? I do think we choose, though. I do think we choose. I don't think we choose at some deep level our essence, our who we are. I think there is something there that's very rooted prior to choice, to conscious choice. But I think we choose how to manifest who we are in the world. And I think at a certain point growing up, I looked around and I saw different ways of being in the world. And being a woman fit. That fit me. Having a woman's body allowed my body to fit other bodies in the way I wanted my body to fit. It allowed me to express myself in the ways that felt make no apology for that. And I need no physical cause. All I need to know is that at some point, the pain of denying who I was greater than the pain of taking those steps to fully be myself. That, at a certain point, was a choice. And it's a powerful choice. And I'm not going to reduce the power of that choice by somehow saying I was compelled. I was merely dealing with a defect. My life is not the correcting of a birth defect or a deficit. I was born a certain way, as legitimate and equal, as real and as correct as any other way. There's nothing wrong. I'm not going to somehow give up the power that somehow I am in control, that I chose how to be in this world. And that's what gives me power. And that's what makes me unique. It doesn't make me unique because I'm trans. It links me up with anybody else in this world that has the strength and power to claim who they want to be and who are proud of who they are and can claim the erotics of their body and can live life with no regrets. Isn't that what it's all about? No regrets. I have no regrets.